This video is going to cover the palpation guide for the lower leg. There is a corresponding palpation guide posted on Canvas. So I'm just going to try to work through this sequentially here. Okay, so for the lower leg, we are going to start with the common peroneal nerve. So the common peroneal nerve. So one important palpation point for you guys to find this nerve is actually the fibular head, which is the next palpation point. So as I come in here, you can start down here at lateral malleolus, and you can kind of feel up along the bottom, and then you're just working your way up. And then as you come up, you're going to come to a spot where the bone kind of protrudes on most of us again. Kind of like walking up the shaft of the fibula, and then we come up here to the fibular head, and this will protrude. Okay, so if you find that fibular head, what you're going to do is go just posterior to it. Okay, and a lot of times on this nerve, you won't actually feel the nerve itself, but this is the palpation spot for that nerve, just posterior to the fibular head. So this common fibular nerve, it comes down here from this posterior side, and it divides right here at the fibular head. So that's why this is a good palpation spot for this nerve. Okay, we just palpated fibular head along with the shaft down into the lateral malleolus. Okay, so the palpation points for this were fibular head, we are fibular shaft, and then into the lateral malleolus, which is the most distal portion of the fibula. Now the next palpation point is the interosseous membrane, and it has distal on the palpation guide. So the interosseous membrane is the membrane that spans the tibia and the fibula between these bones on the lower leg. So for the most part, it's buried beneath muscles, but there is a portion down here on this distal part where it is a good palpation spot for it. So if I come up here, here's medial and lateral malleolus. If I come up here and I just maneuver this ankle, I can actually get a little bit deeper, and the person I'm palpating on would let you know that I'm pressing fairly firmly. That is going to be the distal portion of the interosseous membrane right there. Okay. Next palpation point is the anterior and posterior. Now listen to the name. Anterior and posterior tibiofibular ligaments. So these are the ligaments that again connect these bones down here at the mortise of the ankle. You'll notice on the palpation guide, it says palpate over this structure at the ankle syndesmosis. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come right in here. One kind of interesting thing is if you come up here and you start working down, so if you kind of come to the middle of the lower leg and then just start working down, you're going to feel a spot where the bones actually come up. They come up to meet your finger. The muscles are getting smaller. They come up to meet you. That right there is going to be the anterior tibiofibular ligament. Okay. Posterior is just on the back side, but it's very difficult to palpate because of all the structure. Okay. But in theory, it is the ligament that will be right between these bones on the posterior side, tibiofibular ligament. Next palpation point is lateral malleolus. We covered that in the foot and the toes, but here it is again. And then as we move down, the last one on this first sheet is the calcaneofibular ligament. So the calcaneofibular ligament, if you listen to the name, calcaneofibular. So we're connecting from the fibula onto the calcaneus. If I dorsiflex the foot, a lot of times you can actually see portions of this ligament pop out a little bit. And so calcaneofibular ligament is going to be right there. Okay, there is the palpation site for calcaneofibular ligament.